So, please welcome this week's special guest, Graham. Nicola, what is Graham to you?
So this is Graham, and I once got him to jump out of a cupboard to scare away my hiccups.
Right, Nicola's hiccup hero. Dan, how do you know Graham?
This is Graham, and he is the secretary of my highly exclusive club, and the name of the club, Egg Club.
Right, Dan's club cohort. And David, finally you. What is your relationship with Graham?
This is Graham. He comforted me when, while visiting a model village, I suddenly became overwhelmed by my own enormousness.
So there we have it. Please, team, where are you going to start?
Nicola, tell me what happened.
I had a really, really bad case of the hiccups on set in Dairy Girls, and it was ruining the day.
Could I just hear the sound of your hiccup, please?
It would be a fake hiccup, but you can.
But, yes, I'd like to hear it.
OK. I just, like, had that moment where I was like, Mr. Motivator's asking me to do a fake hiccup. Like, what is my life? This is so strange. OK.
What?
Oh, goodness.
I don't know, did that help?
That sounded like Chihuahua from a distance.
Chihuahua from a distance, that's a scent, isn't it?
Graham seems to be quite a normal-looking man.
Yeah.
And so what was so scary about him coming out of a cupboard?
No.
Are you easily scared?
No. So we were in this old school building, and he is the second AD. He was like, I will hide somewhere here. He was like, I'm going to get...
He told you he was
told
gonna
you?
hide.
Yeah, like, I knew it was going to happen.
And the
but
anticipation wasn't enough. You needed the shock.
it was literally the only thing.
Yeah.
What
And it
other
was the fact-
techniques did you try before you did that?
Tried to do that water upside down thing, but that's a whole crock of rubbish.
Yeah.
Did you hold your breath and put your fingers in your ears?
Yeah.
What's the point of the fingers in the ears?
It stops air getting in your ears.
Yeah.
Stop you breathing out through your ears.
There's air getting in there to make you hiccup again.
But
Is that what causes it? Air going in the ears?
Just any air through any orifice.
What else do you have to put your finger in then?
You only have 2 fingers.
Well, you don't. You have 10. Did you really just stay on national television? You've only got 2 fingers.
No one noticed, Lee. No one noticed that I didn't know how many I had. Nicola, did you know Graham's name beforehand? Do you know all of the crew's name when you're filming?
You definitely know the second, because they're the ones that whenever you need to go to the bathroom, you have to ask them. Like you're in primary school.
You have to ask them to go to the toilet.
You do, and then
You're really methodly playing this child, aren't you?
But if you have to go to the bathroom, they have to know where the actors are at all times. So there's a special code on a radio for when an actor's in the bathroom.
What's that code?
10-1.
Yeah.
10-1.
I have no idea what it stands for.
10-1, unless you need the other one, then it's 10-2.
So he jumps out of the cupboard.
Yes.
What happens?
I knew it was happening, so I sort of laughed and then realised then that they were gone.
Oh. Well. Right, who would you like to question next?
Dan.
Yes.
Just remind us of your statement, Dan.
This is Graham, and Graham is the secretary of a highly exclusive club that I've got, and that club is called Egg Club.
OK, how many people are in this exclusive club?
You'd have to check with the secretary, Graham.
He can't tell us that.
I think 15, 16.
And when you say exclusive, have people tried to join and they've been turned away?
Yeah, in Egg Club, we have a very specific poaching method. It's one of those things that started as a bit of a joke. I put some pictures of some poached eggs on social media, and then lots of people started sending pictures of their poached eggs back to me. So I said, you're banned from Egg Club for not doing it right.
And how many people do you think you've banned over the years or months this has been going?
Maybe 100. In Egg Club, we're like a basic egg, so no sort of frills, no salmon or... what's that green stuff? I've forgotten what the green stuff is.
What, the green stuff?
Spinach?
No,
Avocado.
Avocado.
Somebody's banned from Avocado Club.
Graham sent me a picture of his eggs with no
Yeah.
avocado, no salmon, just plain toast, butter, eggs. And I said, you're in, Graham. And then I send him a direct message and say, welcome to Egg Club. And
what does he say in reply to that?
He says, oh, fantastic.
Really?
Probably about a year into Egg Club, people start getting really angry that you're banned from... So I hosted an event about a year ago, and somebody came up to me with a plate with 2 poached eggs on it, and they said, you banned me from Egg Club 6 months ago. Can you check these to see if they're OK? And I said, when did you cook them? And he said, I cooked them yesterday. I said, well, you're clearly banned for another year. So...
Now, on social media, of course, you get a lot of celebrities, famous people. Have any of them had dalliances with your seemingly futile club?
Gordon Ramsay's band.
No. Did he send an egg, or did you just see him make an egg?
He made an egg, and somebody commented on his egg and said, "Oh, you're not going to get into Egg Club with that." And he said, "I think it was what the is Egg Club," and I said, "Foul language banned for life." So,
Zane, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Are you quite lonely?
I've got 3 kids and 2 jobs, but
But still time for Egg Club.
What about David? Just remind us of your claim, David.
This is Graham, and he comforted me when, while going round a model village, I became overwhelmed by my own enormousness.
OK. Where was this model village?
It was in the Cotswolds.
Did you go on your own?
I did, yeah.
On your own?
Is there a castle there?
No, if there'd been a castle, I wouldn't have gone to the model village. Because there'd be a castle.
OK, so this is interesting. So you think castles are better than model villages?
Oh, he loves castles.
So what else is
Castles
on...
are
Not as much as him. That's why they call him Mr. Moat.
Why on earth did you go to a model village on your own?
I didn't have anything to do.
Was this recently?
It was a couple of years ago. I was working in the Stroud area.
Is that a euphemism?
Well, no.
OK.
Come on, look, you've got the moat thing. You're fine for a couple of years on it. So I was filming something round there. I had basically a day off, so I thought I'd go and sort of go somewhere nice.
And where were you when you cried? What particular part of the model village made you weep?
I think I had just passed the church.
Oh, that must have been a hell of a meal.
There was... yeah, absolutely. And, you know, with all those crenellations...
You've not sorted that out yet?
Very painful. Anyway, I just became... overwhelmed is the word. I couldn't bear the size of me and the smallness of the place. And I was tired. I was working very hard because, you know, as an actor, no one gives more than me.
Yeah.
And so I'm quite drained anyway. It was probably too ambitious to go to a model village that day. I should have just been resting.
When you talk about your acting and the extent to which you give, I don't think the viewer will realise the amount of research you do. And for you to play a sort of repressed, upper-middle-class Englishman, middle-aged, takes, months and months.
It's a huge stretch. It's a privilege.
I bet it was when you passed that church.
It's so difficult to deal. On the one side, I'm got Rob making an assault on my whole career. On the other side, you are persistently implying that I have crapped out an entire medieval building. And I just don't know. I feel like Germany in the First World War fighting on 2 fronts. I'm going to turn fascistic in a few decades. That's what I'm saying.
So what did Graham do exactly?
Well, he comforted me.
How?
I had been overwhelmed, and I got to the point where I had to just lower myself, to at least get my head down to the level of the rooftops, because I was freaking out. The sort of sense of unearned power, the ability to smash and destroy. It felt like a bitter metaphor of humanity's predation on the earth. And I was just really...
And you're saying all this out loud at the time, are you?
No, I'm not saying anything out loud, but I am sort of crouching down next to, I think, a miniaturised shop with a Bovril advert on the outside.
Nice bit of detail.
Thank you. And Graham comes over and asks if I'm OK.
And what did you say?
Did Graham work there, or was he just another person enjoying the sights?
He worked there.
OK.
And he says they get a lot of this.
Oh, really? Right. We need an answer. So, Lee's team. Is Graham Nicola's hiccup hero, Dan's club cohort, or David's model mate?
Well, David is full of hogwash.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I don't know. You come onto a programme and you share something difficult and painful, and then this is how you're treated. Is this what would happen to me on Graham Norton? I don't think so. I think they'd mention the book and thank me for coming.
And Dan, as for your eggs, no way, Dan. The only thing that's remotely probably true is that Nicola. Because I look at Graham and he looks like the kind of person who would hide in a cupboard.
I think it's Egg Club. It's made me so furious, I think it's true.
You think it's Nicola, you think it's David, and
OK, I think Nicola then as well.
OK, Nicola then.
We think that it is Nicola with her hiccups. Right. Graham, would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm Graham, and I'm the secretary of Dan's Egg Club.
Yes. And we can see one of the submissions to Egg Club now. Here it is. This is a picture that Dan was sent. That's what happens. They send it in, they say, "Morning, Dan, surely worthy of Egg Club entry. Where do I pick up the keys?" And then Dan fires back with that. Unsanctioned rusty, lack of cutlery, overconfidence, banned from Egg Club application for 117 days. Thank you very much, Graham. So please welcome this week's special guest, Zade. I must play Super Mario again. Joel, what is Zade to you?
Oh, this is Zade. He came to my wedding, and when he started dancing, my mum started crying.
Joel's wedding wrecker. AJ, how do you know Zade?
So this is Zade, and I had to cut short our only date because he insisted on riding a penny farthing.
AJ's disappointing date. And finally, David, what is your relationship with Zade?
This is Zade. After being splashed by a transit van, I wore his trousers to a book signing.
These team, where to begin?
Joel, when was your wedding?
It was in Mykonos.
Did I say when or were?
I said when.
When was your wedding?
Mykonos. When was it? Last September.
Last September. What was it about his dance that made your mum cry?
Well, I say dancing, it was moshing.
Was he the only one moshing?
He wasn't. Other people joined in with the moshing, and my mum thought they were fighting, and so
I see. Yeah. What was the music that was playing?
It was Papa Roach, Last Resort.
We have a sound team on this show that are pretty adequate. I think, even as we've been speaking, they've probably been searching... What was it called?
Papa Roach, Last Resort.
Hit it.
Oh, that actually worked.
Oh, my God.
OK, well, OK, stop that. Why on earth were you playing that at a wedding?
In Mykonos.
Yeah,
especially given it was the first dance.
So...
It's not very romantic, is it? Yeah. This is my last resort.
So we had our first dance, which was to a much more romantic song, and basically we had a party playlist sorted to start immediately after the first dance, and we should have, in hindsight, put it in some sort of order, but we actually just put it on shuffle.
Why didn't you pay for a DJ?
I'll be honest, I don't really understand the difference between a DJ and just, you know, in Spotify.
Well, a DJ will feel the room. When you're DJing, David, you've told me it's about a vibe, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you told me you sense the room.
My primary thought is fire safety.
So, when your mom saw him moshing...
Yeah.
Did she cry because of him or the general chaos?
I think my mum was crying with the general chaos, really, because everyone's just started moshing away. Then my mum was like, "Oh my God, it's a fight!" And my dad was like, "Oh my God, it's a fight!" And
have we found out yet how he knows Zade?
He goes to the gym that I used to go to.
And that's why you invited him to your wedding?
Yeah.
Did you invite all your gym people to your wedding?
Yeah, two gym people. There was only 29 people at the wedding, so I just
And two of them were randos from the gym?
Yeah. It's quite a bold move, isn't it, to go up to a strapping, muscly man and going, "Hiya, you ever been to Mykonos?"
No, who would you like to quiz next?
AJ.
Right. Now, remind us, AJ, of the connection.
I had to cut short our date because he insisted on riding a penny farthing.
Did you meet him or did he come pick you up for the date?
No, we met.
And he was there on this bike. You were like, hey, Zade, how are you?
No, well, basically, we met in a bar. I had arrived before him, which was already annoying because I'm meant to arrive late, not you.
Yeah, come on, Zade. Did you ask him why he was late?
No.
And he said, well, have a look at my bike. You'll see why.
I just didn't know anything about the penny farthing at all. We was having a lovely time on the day, and so he was like, right, should we move on to the next place? We were like, whilst we were talking, he did say that he had a penny farthing, and I just thought he was joking. And then I get outside, and he's unchaining it, and I was like, oh, you wasn't joking.
So why did you cut the date short, though?
I did actually go on to the next place. However, at the next venue, didn't find a pole to chain his penny farthing to. So, whilst we're sat at the bar, he keeps looking out the window, looking after this penny farthing.
I mean, it's one thing looking at other women on a date, but looking at a rusty old bike, that's too much, isn't it?
I'm not being funny, but it actually was.
Can I ask, AJ, is the big wheel at the front or the back?
I think it's at the front. I don't know.
How did he get on it?
I don't... But him.
How did he get on the bike?
I didn't get on the bike.
I know you
Trust
didn't.
me, I did not get on that bike.
Yeah. Well, you've had enough thinking time now. How did he get on the bike?
You just, like, got on it.
Right, you've explained it now, thank you. In the pub, your only objection was that he was looking out for his... I presume it's an antique bike.
Listen, I don't know where he got the bike from, whether he got it from Halfords or the Antiques Roadshow. All I know...
What are the two?
Is that...
You sounded to me like someone who's quite hard work on a date, if you don't mind me saying. I understand now why he brought along his plastic screen, so he didn't have to listen to you anymore.
How did you cut it short? What did you say?
Basically...
On your bike.
All right. David, remind us of how it is that you know Zade.
He let me wear his trousers after I'd been splashed by a transit van and I had to go to a book signing.
Where were you?
On my way to Foyle's bookshop in London.
And where was Zade?
He worked at the bookshop.
Was Zade a humble assistant? Was he head of Foyles? What was he?
I'd be surprised if he was the chief executive of the company, but he worked in the bookshop.
So you get into the shop. Now, are these sort of khaki slacks? In which case, the stainage, if we can call it that, in your front trouser area is all the more alarming and does hint at perhaps problems of a urological type.
He's asking, did it look like you'd wet yourself?
It certainly might have done. Although, to be honest, my trousers were so wet, people would have admired me if they thought I could generate that amount of urine.
Did he offer his trousers, or was he forced by someone higher up the chain to strip off and give them to TV's David Mitchell?
He offered them. I came into the shop sort of in a squelch, sort of walking, and this signing was starting in a few minutes, and I was embarrassed by my appearance, if you can imagine such a thing, and...
And were the three fans staring at you in the... Or were they looking the other way at this point, were they?
There was quite a considerable queue of, you know...
For the toilet, so you couldn't use that.
And Zade was there representing the bookshop to say, oh, you're here for the signing of your book. And it's a brilliant book, he said.
So he says to you, why don't you use my trousers?
He had some spare trousers with him.
Oh, he had spare ones?
Yeah.
I mean, how funny is your book?
But why did he have spare trousers?
Because he was going to the gym, where, you know, you meet people at the gym, don't you? And he was... they were like jogging bottoms.
So you did the book signing in jogging bottoms?
I did
Would it
in
not
the
been
jogging
more
bottoms,
appropriate
yes.
for him to wear the jogging bottoms and you to wear his trousers?
I felt that to suggest that would be a bit personal, and I didn't particularly... I thought, why not a pair of trousers that neither of us have worn that day?
Yeah, but it's an odd look, isn't it? Because I can imagine you turning up for a book signing, you've got your little checkered shirt on, your dicky bow, your little fez, and then you've got your tracksuit bottoms, and it's all tucked in to the... like that. Hello, want me to sign that?
Obviously, with a book signing, you're sitting at a table, your legs aren't that visible.
Where in the shop did you go to change? Which section?
Please don't say the children's section.
In the back room, in the stock room area.
Right, and then at the end of the... After you'd signed your 3 books, she said, thanks for coming, Mum, thanks for coming, Dad. And then... And did you then... He liked that one, and he's not allowed to laugh. Did you then give him his trousers back, or did he say, "Oh, just take them, you can have them"?
I gave him his trousers back.
What month were you going to Foyles?
It was November.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, that does check out.
Well done, David. It could have rained in November.
Fortunately, I didn't pick one of those months where it never rains in Britain.
OK, Lee's team. Is Zade Joel's wedding wrecker, AJ's disappointing date, or David's legwear lender?
They're all implausible, aren't they?
Well, Joel's is implausible.
You don't think Joel?
The whole, I invited 2 random guys from my gym. These 2, I buy the dating thing big time, but I think that's a personal bias, yeah.
I think I buy it big time
Yeah,
as well.
I mean, if I was on a date and some guy was looking at his vehicle and not me, he's out. And then if the vehicle was a penny farthing, I'd be like, God, what a lunatic I picked up on the internet.
They just seem different types. I mean, it just doesn't ring true.
You don't know my type.
I do. I've tried ringing you many times and you never pick up.
So, Alex, if you had to plump for one of these...
Which I do.
Who would it be?
It would be AJ. Because I don't think people do get splashed by transit vans and puddles in real life.
You think it's AJ? You think it's AJ? It's AJ.
OK, Zade, would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm Zade, and my dancing made Joel's mum cry.
Zade is Joel's wedding wrecker. Thank you very much, Zade.